Good evening, you comedian. I'm used to working at night. Good morning. It's lovely to be here. Labas rytas, tere hommikut. So I'm an Estonian, but I'm an American. I asked Danos, I said, why would you have a comedian at a conference like this? And he said, consider yourself the sorbet between the meals. So I am the sweet stuff between the conferences. It is really lovely to be here. It's amazing how your life can change overnight. The day before the election, I was an expat. And the day after the election, I was a refugee. So now I live in Germany, and I'm trying to learn German, which is a very difficult language. And I studied Berlitz and Rosetta Stone, but that is for tourists. That is for businessmen. They teach you things like, where is the museum? Where is the train station? I live there. I know where the train station is. I need things I can use in real life, like, what time is your husband coming home? Useful things. You know, growing up as an Estonian in America, I learned Estonian from my parents. And the first time I got to go to Estonia was right after the wall came down, and it was a thrill for me to visit my homeland. I mean, it was really great. And I speak Estonian, and I was at a bar in Tallinn, and I was with my friend, another comedian from New York, and we were sitting at a table, and these women said something, and I understood, and they went, oh, one of them speaks Estonian. So they invited us to the table, and we had a lovely evening, and later I'm walking back to the hotel with a beautiful woman, and she says, you know, talking to you is so interesting. And I thought, okay. And she says, yes, when I speak to you, it's like talking to my grandfather. Because I speak an old Estonian. So, you know, language changes. A lot of things change. The world changes. Usually, hopefully, through elections. We've had a lot of elections recently. The Russians had an election. A Russian election. That's like saying Islamic wine tasting. Interesting idea, never going to happen. The British had an election. The Russians were going to interfere, but even they don't understand British politics. The Dutch had an election, and for 7 months there was no government, and nobody noticed. I think we can learn something from this. The French had an election. Everybody was so relieved when Emmanuel Macron won. Poor little Marine Le Pen. Nobody likes Marine. She had to go all the way to Moscow to find someone who would have lunch with her. And of course, Putin found her on Tinder. And what really turned him on was that on Marine's page, you can only swipe to the right. But I love living in Europe. Europe is such an amazing, amazing experiment, and I have an Estonian passport, so I am allowed to live here, and it is a privilege, and it is an amazing experiment. 28 countries get along. 17 use the same currency. The other 11, what is Brussels saying? I'm sorry, you're not ready to play with real money yet. But you know, Europe is like a family. I mean, it really is. And there will never be another war in Europe. You know why? Nobody wants to do the paperwork. Everything has to go through Brussels. But Europe is like a family. I'll give you an example. Think of it this way. And you know, with families, there are fun parts of the family, and there are strange parts of the family. That's what families are. Okay, like Germany and France are like mom and dad. And Germany is just like dad, right? Serious, not much of a sense of humor. Go to school, study hard. Go to work for a big company, save your money, don't screw around. They don't call it the fatherland for nothing. Now, France is like mom. Mom is like France. Mom likes art, mom likes food, mom likes music, mom will have an affair once in a while. Mom will give you 20 euros when you need it. Don't tell your father. Now, Italy and Spain are like the two brothers who moved away from home, but not too far. And the Italian brother, so cool. Dresses well, looks good, hair is perfect, shirt is open, little gold chain, drives a hot red sports car. We don't know if he owns the car. In fact, we don't even know how the Italian brother makes his money, and we don't want to know. Now, the Spanish brother, nice guy, plays the guitar, takes a lot of naps. Portugal is like the hippie sister. She lives way down at the end of the peninsula, way down at the end of the peninsula. And, well, we have a really strong red wine. Bank account? No. We use seashells. Then there's Luxembourg. Luxembourg is like that annoying little cousin. Nobody knows which side of the family he's from. But he's somehow made a lot of money. So we have to be nice to Luxembourg, just in case. The Irish cousins are the diplomats of the family. No matter where you go in the world, you will find an Irish consulate. We call them pubs. But no matter where you go, they're there. Now, the Brits have always said they're going to leave the family, but they haven't done it yet. And the Brit is like that aunt. You know, she's always dressed very sort of proper. She has the big mole with the two hairs that come out of it on the chin. And she lives in the spare bedroom above the garage. She claims to be from royalty. Who knows? Then there's Denmark, Sweden, Finland. They're the children from the first marriage. They're doing very well. On the eastern side, the eastern cousins, which is the Poles, the Czechs, the Slovaks, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, stuff down there. They grew up in prison. But they'll be okay. They've learned capitalism very quickly. Greece is adopted. Somebody had to adopt Greece. I love the Greeks. I go there twice a year. I take my money to them. They know nothing about taxes, but they're wonderful people. Then there's the Baltic Triplets. You know, they're like the three brothers. You know, in the family, you have the three small brothers, and you're always going, where are they? Is it the Balkans? No, the Baltics. Whatever. Then, of course, finally, you have the Netherlands. The Netherlands is kind of like the lesbian aunt. You know, she's really liberal, dresses very sensibly, wooden shoes, rides a bike everywhere, smokes a lot of pot. Every family needs one pot-smoking lesbian aunt. And finally, of course, there's Belgium. Belgium is the schizophrenic brother. I speak French, I speak Vlaams, I speak German, I speak Dutch. No, you don't, shut up. Turkey should be in the EU, you're crazy. That's why all the institutions are in Brussels, because that's how things work. It's an amazing thing to have a comedian at a conference like this, you know, about the fourth revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. You know, Europe does revolutions very well. So, you know, the French Revolution, the Spanish Revolution. So I think we're all set here. I'm not worried very much about the fourth revolution, you know, robotics and self-driving cars. Personally, I have never met a funny robot. So I think my job is secure. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful day.